guys, I'm Madison Mary and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a brand new video for you guys. So today's video is something a bit different, and I'm actually going to be showing you guys all the exclusive editions of books that I own that I have gotten from multiple book boxes. Zelda, what are you? Bro, I have been a Fairy Loop subscriber for over a year now. I've definitely been an иллюmicrate subscriber for 6 months, and then I have sporadically gotten different copies from like Alaric, Shelf Love Crate, LitJoy, all those other book boxes, so I really thought I would come on here and kind of just show them because it sounded like a cool idea, so I don't know what to tell you guys. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to start with the Alaric books that I currently own. Four Dead Queens by Astrid Shuttle. This book is different from the original because it was originally blue, but it is red in the Alaric edition. However, there's no sprayed edges or anything. This is supposed to be about a world where there are 4 kingdoms, 4 queens, and apparently this person some night finds out that the queens are about to be murdered, and so you follow the queen's point of views before their deaths and then someone else's point of view. That's really all I know. I've heard really great things about this, and yes. Amber in the Dusk. This is vastly different from the original cover. I actually picked this up at a half price bookstore near me, and this is supposed to be, I think, about a girl who decides to venture out of her like city and to try and find like something better for herself, and gets caught up in these court politics and then finds out that what she has gotten herself into is way more worse than what she originally thought. So that is this. Crown of Feathers and Heart of Flames. I got Crown of Feathers thankfully from the wonderful Melanie from Mel to the Annie. She sent me her copy because I was looking for it, and it has these beautiful lilac edges as well as this. The cover is a slightly different shade, and then we have Heart of Flames, which has this color. And so look at them together, they're really pretty. And my friends Soleil from Little Reader's Corner and Jade from Jaded Reader both adored the first book and were on the street team for the sequel, so that's the reason why I have these books. Even though I ain't never read them, is because they loved them and I trust them with all my heart. So I was like, you know what, if you guys love them, I will love them, so why not? And the last one, which is the first Alaric book box I ever got, is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. The original cover is red, and this is this other different color. I have been considered trading this because I actually do prefer the original cover compared to the Alaric for this book. I've heard great things. This is a book that has to do with a lot of heists. It says, welcome to the city of sin, where casino families reign, gangs infest the streets, and secrets hide in every shadow. Soon I will have 2 Waterstons editions of books. I have Crescent City coming, but it is currently stuck in Illinois, so you know, don't got that yet. But the other edition I have from Waterstons is Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. This is the sprayed edges edition that is black. I'm also getting the иллюmicrate, Nevernight, and God's Grave editions to match this. This is the Nevernight trilogy by J. Kristoff. Has to do with Mia Corvair, who is an assassin who goes to assassin school to avenge her family. Moving on to иллюmicrate editions, we have Once and Future by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. This is a very cute, like very small edition. It's the size of my hand, and there is no dust jacket part of it. It is as you see it, and it has these really beautiful sprayed edges. Even though I only thought this book was okay, I just love this edition so much that I would never get rid of it because it is just so pretty. But this is a gender-bent King Arthur retelling set in space. The next book I have from иллюmicrate is This Time Will Be Different. This has sprayed yellow edges, matches my nails, which is kind of funny. It has to do with a girl whose grandmother's flower shop is about to go out of business, and she really looks into her family's like past. I know I want to get around to this, it's just I'm not a huge contemporary reader. I love romances, but contemporary is not something that I naturally gravitate towards. So I do like it when book boxes have contemporary novels because they're ones that I wouldn't have otherwise picked up. Also from иллюmicrate we have Blood Heir by Emily Wenzel. This is so gorgeous. Are you guys ready? Ah! Look at these spread edges. They are freaking amazing. Probably one of my favorite sprayed edges that I own. So I know this has to do with a girl whose father is murdered, and her father's actually the emperor. And so I think she has to flee and figure out what happened, and she has to team up with a crime lord. I just haven't had the time to get around to it, but it was one of my most anticipated 2019 releases. Kingdom of Souls. Are you guys ready? Do you see that snake? Look at the snake. It's amazing. Seriously, some of the best details I've seen on sprayed edges. So this is the UK edition, all иллюmicrate and Fairy Lit editions are UK, and so they are bigger than normal editions of books that would be in the US, so their hardcovers tend to be a little bit taller. So if you do want to end up having matching copies, you do have to keep on, you know, maybe buying them from Book Depository so they do match. But it has to do with a girl who is from a family of witch doctors but actually doesn't have any magic, and then in order to save her land, she decides to trade away years of her life in order to gain power. Also from Alimma Crate, we have probably my two favorite editions from them. We have The Sisters Grimm. This is, it doesn't even have a dust jacket. This is the book in its own form. Oh, and it is just utterly beautiful. I can't even get over it. It's black sprayed edges as well. And this is The Sisters Grimm. So it's about 4 sisters who have been living apart from each other because they were born to different mothers but the same father, and they have to go to the palace and fight against each other to see who will live. The other edition I have is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is a book about a book, I believe. It's about a guy, storyteller, has to do with like a bee, a key, and a sword. I really don't know too much about this, and I know a lot of people go into it not knowing much, and that's kind of the point to this novel. But this is the Alimma Crate edition for it. It is quite gorgeous, if I say so myself, and it is blue sprayed edges with a ribbon bookmark. Here are two of my UK editions of Ninth House. This one is the Waterstons editions, so it is this blue kind of color instead compared to the regular UK edition, which looks like this. However, this is also my Alimma Crate copy, so it does have a special hardcover. This is what the hardcover looks like. If you didn't know, this is one of my favorite books of 2019. I absolutely loved this new installment by Leigh Bardugo. This follows Alex, known as Galaxy Stern, and she, after being the only survivor of a triple homicide, is offered a place at Yale University to be part of Leith House, and this is a house that is part of the secret societies that is actually the kind of house that looks over the other secret societies. And so it's about her being a part of that and looking into her past, while also the disappearance of her mentor. I also have an Alimma Crate edition of King of Scars, which I got signed by Leigh Bardugo when I met her last year. And this is the Alimma Crate edition. It is gold instead of black, so these are kind of flipped colors. Basically, it is the only Grishaverse novel I have not read. This is a story that follows Nikolai after the whole aftermath of all the books that came prior. We also have my Alimma Crate edition of The Cruel Prince. I absolutely love this. This is my favorite edition of The Cruel Prince I have ever seen. I prefer this a lot more to the Fairy Lit edition, which I will talk about later on, but this edition is utterly beautiful. This is obviously without a dust jacket, and this is what it looks like. It has green sprayed edges. This is just one of my favorite books. The Cruel Prince follows Jude Duat, and she is a mortal in Feylands. Her mother and father were murdered by this fairy general because her half-sister is actually the daughter of this fairy general with her mother, and so they are whisked away to Fairy and have to kind of fight for their right to be in Fairylands as mortals. Another set of Alimma Crate editions that I own are Muse of Nightmares and Strange the Dreamer. These Alimma Crate editions have, first off, silver sprayed edges as well as gold sprayed edges. I bought these. These are my first exclusive editions of books I ever owned, and I absolutely adore them so much. They mean a lot to me. But I know it's about a guy, what's his name, Laszlo, and he is this kind of keeper of records, and he believes in this place called the City of Weep, which was kind of stricken from the records. And these people come to him and they kind of want his help in finding the City of Weep, since he is this history guy who knows so much about it. We then have, oh my god, Aurora Rising by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. It actually totally matches my eyes at the moment. I kind of love that. It follows, what's the guy's name? His name is Ty, and this is set in the year 2380, and he graduated at the top of his class of this space school, and he was supposed to, you know, be able to choose this amazing elite group of people to be in his crew. However, he ended up having to run late to the assignment picking, and he got stuck with this ragtag group of people. While they're on some sort of a mission, they find a girl frozen in time, and that is, I think, Aurora. We also have Descendant of the Crane by Joan here. This is the red sprayed edges edition. I do think that apparently the cover change was also supposed to be a bit different, but you can't really tell unless you look at them side by side very closely. This is about another princess. Wow, a lot of these kind of the same. another princess whose father is found dead, and she has to figure out who the killer is because she has now taken over the court, and if she does not figure it out soon, they will try and kill her as well. We have Angel Maid by Garth Nix. This has red sprayed edges and is the UK cover. No clue what this is about, but this is a standalone by Garth Nix, another one of his new YA novels. We then have Sanctuary, which is really cool. Do you guys see these like symbols that are on it? And it's also green sprayed edges. It has to do with a detective who enters a town. And what happened was this guy died, and his ex-girlfriend is the daughter of a witch. And she was there when the guy died. And it says we followed the mother of the dead son, the best friend of that mother, whose daughter was the ex-girlfriend, and something else. And it says the town becomes no sanctuary at all. So it sounds really cool. And I'm really glad that Lemon Crate included this in their box because I never would have heard of it otherwise, and it definitely sounds like something that I would be interested in. I almost forgot about my Lemon Crate edition of Dark Dawn, which has yellow sprayed edges. Oh my god. Then the most recent book we've gotten from a Lemon Crate is The Midnight Lie by Marie Matkowski, and it is completely different. So it is a blue cover instead of green, and it has red sprayed edges, and we follow a girl who is one of the lowest classes, and you know, she lives her life being that low class, not having any privileges, and then she encounters this traveler that tells her that magic exists and that she should try and look for it herself, and that's kind of all I really know about that. We are now going to move on to Fairy Loot. We're going to start with my Fairy Loot edition of Queen of Nothing, and that is this. I don't love this. I love these sprayed edges for it. They're really cool. I'm so sorry. Fairy Loot does amazing things, but this cover was not one of them. We do have Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. This has beautiful pink sprayed edges. I adore this edition. It is about a kitsune who loses her fox flame when trying to protect a boy, and now she has to find her fox flame or she will die. It is based in Korean lore and mythology, so I'm really excited to read that eventually. We also have Fire and Ice. I actually have no idea what is actually exclusive about this. Oh, okay, this is a bit weird. Socialite, Were-Dragon, Thief. Like werewolf, but were-dragon. I'm like a dragon shapeshifter? Shapeshifter? I do not know, my dudes. I do not know. We have Mirage by Samaya Dodd. I actually adored this, so it has a completely different cover. This is silver instead of the regular purple, and the sprayed edges are purple instead. This book, it has been 2 years since it came out, and the sequel is finally coming out this year, but they are doing a total cover change. This has to do with a series about a girl who is found, and she is the complete doppelganger to the Crown Princess. And the Crown Princess is an absolutely awful human being and is always trying to be assassinated, so this girl is in her place going to events and stuff, and she accidentally ends up falling in love with the Crown Princess's beloved. We then have The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. This edition has red sprayed edges, and the sequel, The Damned, is actually going to also have an exclusive edition that has lilac sprayed edges that I am definitely pre-ordering on March 10th, which will have already passed when this comes out, but just so you guys know, this is set in 1800s New Orleans, and it follows a girl who has escaped from somewhere in Europe because she killed someone, and she is looking for sovereignty in a monastery at New Orleans, and when she is there she actually ends up kind of getting involved in this sinister club in which there are vampires. But this is not like a primarily vampire book. The sequel will definitely be more vampire-y, but this one is more kind of focused on the lore of this world and these murders that happen. We of course have Girls of Paper and Fire and Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nagan. This is the pink sprayed edges. This has that teal lilac, really, Madison? We are also actually getting another cover for this because this was supposed to be an exclusive cover for Fairy Loot, but then it ended up being distributed elsewhere, and it was like, oh no, and stuff happened. I don't really know. But basically, Girls of Paper and Fire, we follow Lei, and she is lower class citizen. We have 3 cases: the paper case, the steel case, and the moon case. Paper case are human, steel case are half human, half demon, and moon case are fully demon. This kingdom is ruled by a demon king, and each year he has a group of paper girls who are basically his concubines, and our main character Lei is actually chosen as a concubine, and it's about her fighting against that. A lot of warnings about sexual assault. The reason why I absolutely adored the sequel to this is because it really focuses on the aftermath and the PTSD of having sexual assault and rape, and I was very thankful for this book, even though when you look at it as a journey book, as plot-wise, it doesn't really do much, and it does suffer from middle book syndrome, but for the character development and what we saw in them suffering from their PTSD from sexual assault and rape, that's the reason why I absolutely love this book. Also from Fairy Loot, another 2 editions I own are A Curse of Dark and Linley and A Heart So Fierce and Broken. These are like itty bitty teeny weeny copies of books. What's exclusive about these are their kind of spines, which are these like holographic colors, and this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Also from Fairy Loot we have Woven in Moonlight. This is a different cover. The original cover looks like this. So we follow a girl, Ximena, and she is the decoy to the royal princess, and when the royal princess ends up getting an arranged marriage to this guy from an enemy kingdom, Ximena ends up having to go in the Condessa's place. We then have Circle of Shadows, which is got sprayed lilac edges. This is like a ninja ebook. It says A Society of Assassins, an Empire of Magic, a World of Secrets. We then have These Rebel Ways by Sarah Rush. This is the spin-off series to the Snow Like Ashes trilogy, which I've read books 1 and 2 of. This has got green sprayed edges. We also have Eight Will Fall. This follows a group of outcasts who have magic in a land where magic is banned, and they get sent on a deathly mission into like these very confining caves, and they have to figure themselves out. And this is an exclusive edition because it is red and the original one is blue. We also have The Beholder. This has got light pink sprayed edges. This follows a girl who her parents tell her to go on this ship, and if she does not come back with a marriage prospect, then she should not come back at all. So she is on this ship trying to find herself a suitor. We then have Heart of Thorns, which has got red sprayed edges. This book's about a girl who has been taught all her life to hate these witches, and only to find out on her wedding night to a royal prince that she herself is actually a descendant of one of these witches, and now she has to hide her ever-growing powers. We have Two Best the Boys by Mary Weber. This has got charcoal sprayed edges, and this is about a world where every year there is a competition held where the boys in the kingdom can compete in this test in order to get a full ride scholarship to this prestigious university. And so we follow a girl who decides to 1 year pretend to be a boy in order to get the scholarship. One of my favorite sprayed editors from Fairy Loot has to be Sorcery of Thorns. This has got sparkly green sprayed edges. I hope you guys can see the sparkles on camera. This is Margaret Rogerson's sophomore novel, and this follows a girl who works in a library full of grimoires that, you know, can come to life, and she is tasked with, you know, looking after them. But one day one of the grimoires gets loose and kills someone, and she is believed to be the murderer, and so she has to hunt down the grimoire with the help of a sorcerer who are kind of considered heathens and heretics in her land. And the last book I have to tell you guys about is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahoran. This is a witch ex-witch hunter romance in which a girl who is a witch who has fled her coven is forced to marry a witch hunter after a series of unfortunate events. I personally really love this. This is a debated book in the booktube community, but I personally really loved it, and these have gold sprayed edges. I really hope we hear an announcement from Fairy Loot soon about the edition for Blood and Honey, which is the sequel. I'm really hoping that we get like sparkly red sprayed edges for it, so we shall see. That is the last book I have to talk to you guys about. Let me know if you guys did like it, because it is something different, and I kind of was taking a bit of a chance here with this, and let me know if there are any other kind of videos like this where I show you certain books that I own down in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe to my channel, and until next time, thanks a bunch guys. Bye!